All right, and we are back. Great day, great day. Thanks for joining us. It is the Englewood Enterprise Gallery's infamous and
Show
famous
some love.
Show Some Love show. Thank you for joining us, and we got some special guests that we can't wait to speak with. We'd like to thank Noble for joining us. Thank you, Noble, for joining us.
Thank you all for having me.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yes. We'll speak to her later about how I have involvement with the message and the music and the youth in the community. But y'all know it's the Englewood Enterprise Gallery, and we got some bills to pay. Let me tell y'all where we at.
Yes.
We at 35th and Racine. That's 1200 West 35th Street. Email us, enterprisegallery@gmail, and visit our website, www.englewoodenterprisegallery.com.
Yes, indeed.
right.
It is a pleasure to be back. Thank you for joining us. The Show Some Love show, where we like to highlight positive, uplifting things going on in the community. We like to talk about issues, but we like to come up with solutions as well as creative, innovative ways that we can attack some of the problems that we have in our communities, in our neighborhoods, maybe even in our homes, maybe even in our own thoughts.
That's right.
So that is where it all starts at. Thoughts are things.
Thoughts are things. So last week
indeed.
we was talking about the message and the music,
Yes,
and the meaning
yes.
of the messages in the music.
Right, right. We started out, we were talking about some of the violence and different things going on, and as we all know, if you're keeping up with the news, it's a lot of turmoil, it's a lot of violence, it's a lot of despair, it's even a lot of bloodshed, God forbid. We hate to even talk about it. But one thing that is important is that we have to see our way through all of this. We have to keep a PMA, positive mental attitude, and a positive mental outlook, because our thoughts will make the difference between success and failure when dealing with things. So what brought us to this point is last week we were looking at the state of the youth in Chicago and some of the turmoil that arises
at
downtown.
Millennium Park or whatever
Millennium
around
Park,
there, just
there was
downtown
violence. Rest
Right.
in peace
They got a
to
curfew now.
any of our people who have been killed or taken out, the violence among the young people and all of that, but also trying to identify how we can address these situations in some ways and where might some of the roots of this come from. Some people think it's a lack of employment, lack of social programs. We need more programs, we need more education, we need more vocational training and promise of employment and all these other things. But also, we also have to be aware of what we feed our mind with, what we feed the mind of our children with, and what we allow our children to feed their mind with. So that brings us to the topic that started last week, coming on into this week, messages in the music. And we also were dealing with not just messages, but actually possible magical spells that are being supplanted in the music and being received by the people unbeknownst to them. So what's y'all thoughts on that? Let's get straight into it.
It's a certain frequency, all right? So we got these people, I don't know, whatever you want to call them. I'm calling these people. And they put these different frequencies of messages in the music, so it kind of almost make you want to almost kill somebody a little bit sometimes, or it gets you angry, Then you hear some music, the love music. It make you feel all lovey-dovey and you feel like you want to grind up on somebody. And then you got some music to help you study. I know when I was in college, some good old classical jazz, even some blues, and I get through my studies. So the frequency is being put into the music, and that's one of my theories.
Yes.
But it's a message in everything, and that's another theory I'll talk about later.
Yes.
But Noble, what you think?
Yes.
I would certainly say it has to do with the frequencies. I read this article regarding the 440 hertz frequency, which is like an abomination to nature, and how somewhere around like the 18 and 1900s, you all can look this up as well, don't just take my word for it, but the 440 hertz frequency basically has your mind in a state of chaos, and it promotes the anxiety and depression, opposed to a frequency like 528 hertz, which resonate more with your heart. Well, people would say your heart chakra. I just say your heart energy center,
Chakras, yeah.
So it certainly has to do with frequencies. I would also say what people speak. Sometimes we don't realize the power of our words, and what we speak will be. So we have to be mindful of our mental diet and because our subconscious doesn't really know the difference. That's like if you're watching a scary movie and they shoot somebody on the show, it's like it just happened right in front of you. Your subconscious doesn't know that, oh, it's just a TV show. So what our brain picks up on, it's like we will be more inclined to go and do whatever music we are listening to.
All right, so you got these rappers. Mm-hmm. They used to be called, back in the ancient days, y'all, gangster rappers. Throwback. But they rap about their environment. They rap about what they're going through. Yeah. They don't really see a problem with it. And I'm not saying there's a problem with it, but it could be more poetical. It could be a lesson learned from the streets, you know, like, you know, I grew up on the south side. He grew up on the south side. You south side?
Yes, south side.
Okay, hey, but on the west side, it's a little different when you grew up. On the east side, it's a little different when you grow up. So we all grow up and we go through these different things in our community, in our neighborhood. But then you got a particular group that shines light on, I don't know, gang banging or disrespecting your elders or disrespecting women. Yes. How can a story of the community be told without those elements?
Exactly, but get this, a lot of the stuff that the mainstream rappers speak about is not their everyday life. So they basically just sending the children off because the youth is really who listening to this music, let's be real. Okay. So it's like by them speaking about this stuff, being on the block, and I'm about to do, now a thing is the drugs. Oh my gosh, I heard this song and the rapper said something about I sip too much lean and my kidney failing. And people really be speaking this type of stuff into their lives. And they'll still go and, you know, do whatever they are going to do.
Yes.
Hey, y'all listening and tuning in. Y'all on the web or the link. Y'all can call in as well. Mm-hmm. Give us a call. The number's 312-738-1060. Jump in on the topic.
This is a deep conversation, and we want to thank Noble for coming through and joining us because it's very important that we stay in tune with the young people. You know, it's one thing for us to come up here and have our opinions, but it's another thing to hear it from the mouth of the people who are affected the most by this.
And I also want to thank our group member, Eric Prez, with the Show Some Love Englewood Enterprise Gallery show. Don't worry, y'all. Y'all tune in next week. He'll be up here as well.
Yeah. He'll be back on it. This is an amazing topic. Also, just kind of recapping, Eric had a whole list of how actually there were songs that were written all the way going back into the 70s and even previously where people were dealing with magical content and casting spells. But back in the days, there was more spell casting content based around love and summoning the positive and the attractive forces of love, how to bring people together, how to keep your mate, how to stay in love and keep that flame going. And people had songs that would speak on that. But then we moved into the era where we have people coming with negative spells, you know, and he mentioned a lot of them. I'm going to drop a few names because I don't want to mess it up because it was, Eric had put it together, but like Dr. Dre and Ice Cube, I remember they had one called Helter Skelter, which unfortunately I did enjoy. You know, I mean, back in that era as a youth, not really understanding what I was allowing to enter into my mind, you know, I was just really drawn off of the beat. But if you know who Helter Skelter was, that was related to a mass murdering that took place. Charles Manson and a cult of Satanists, you know. So this is a song, and then even the concept of Def Jam, you know, Def Jam, the hip hop was created as like a hip hop version of what was it? The rock album. I mean, not the rock album, the rock and roll label. You know,
I think I know what you're talking about.
but that was
Presley and them.
You know, but that was like Russell Simmons and the Kings of Rap, Run DMC and all of that, and they had the whole Aerosmith hip hop fusion. But you have other people, you know, Lil Nas X, he got his own thing going on with, you know, the devil, you know, making cameo appearances in his videos and all this other stuff. So like you say, sis, when we look at what our young people are talking about, they glorifying heavy drug use beyond natural, medicinal, recreational, beyond what's legal. You know, so number one, they promoting stuff that might cause their kidneys to fail. Number two, they promoting something that guaranteed will send them to jail. If they apprehended by law enforcement.
That's not bringing the community together.
So it really is like
They're also promoting hypersexuality. Just had to put that out there.
That is true. That is true. Unhealthy hypersexuality, unless hypersexuality is wrong in itself, but unhealthy sexual practices, hypersexuality
thing first. I mean, it goes on like a loophole. You know, I know when I create my creativity, my message, I always say I write at all ages. I really write to my peers, but all ages can listen to my music. You know, I barely use cuss words. I might occasionally slip some out, but the message. Yes. I'm always about Black power, Black economics, community development, each one teach one, you know, ain't no culture without agriculture.
Yes.
Crystals.
Yes.
Ooh,
yes.
We're going to tell y'all about some crystals going on a little later, too.
Indeed.
Yes.
Even back in my heyday when I used to, you know, write a rap or two back, you know, in my youth, my content was about the ancestors. I remember we had a cut called The Ancestors. You know, many do anything for the cream, but we do our thing for the red, black, and green, and the unseen, the ancestors. You know, so we have to continue to promote those that speak these things into existence, which is why we got Noble here, because I actually heard a rumor that she might drop a little something on us, you know, when she's ready. So you just say the word, and I'm going to give you the mic.
The word.
All right,
we're ready to go. She came for business. All right.
We could accomplish much more as a collective. Activate your listening ears as I put this into perspective. From jump, their objective has been to keep our mind from being receptive. It doesn't take a detective to see that we should be able to just be. For generations, we've been getting deceived by this corporation, a.k.a. the USA. Low vibrational behaviors put on display, succumb to the stereotypes they portray, misuse of the internet leading minds astray. In this age of information, I have faith our people will see we need reciprocity. It's an atrocity, the way our people move due to lack of sagacity. If you need a definition, look it up. I love my people, but failure to conduct our own research has most mentally stuck. I hate to see us oblivious, so I'm keeping a buck. Ruffling a few feathers, but I don't give a fuck. I know that leading our people in the right direction is lethal as the corona injection, but we need to remember our essence. So all things considered, I'm going to deliver my message no matter who's bitter. Because we've been that for too long, man's gone. Our people thinking wrong is right and right is wrong. Allow nothing to cause your judgment. Be strong. For my people, I'm coming like King Kong.
Oh,
yes.
Snap. All right, we should play my video right after that.
Snap. Are they still doing this, or is that?
That's
all right. All right. That's
I
old
was like,
school right there. They brought it back to class. Oh man, okay. Yeah. We're gonna take it right into this other piece.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Oh, we got some. Oh yeah. Hey, after I so belly
food so that we can eat right. Open up your third eye so we can see like. Then
give it like
you will eat right. I'm an African hustling in the street life. Get that belly full so that we can eat right. Open up your third eye to see like. Then apply for survive. You can be right with no priors. I come skilled like MacGyver. Yeah, I got some product and I'm looking for a buyer. Walking these streets, can you feel the heat when you walk past me and you don't speak? You creep. It's a part of life. Everybody got to eat, from loose squares to doing hair, passing out flies everywhere. Yeah, that's my strategy to beat this economic catastrophe. And I'm a microphone scholar. I write lyrics, that make you think and make you holler. Yo, so don't even bother with all this sick. It's time to start up your own business. Let's shine and live the life of the divine. Let's get our pockets fat and sip some wine. Look at your watch because it's time for hard work. So don't whine. I'm an African hustler in the street life. Get that belly full so that we can.
Oh man, yeah, I had to bring it back. That was Queen Zenobia slamming. That's that African hustle. All right, with the Back in the Days group. Man, thank you for joining us. You know, the crowd and just grew up in here because of this content is so fire. One thing I want to give it up to Noble. She just dropped in and just dropped something up on us. Yes. You know, that was so heavy. We here talking about magic spells and the music. You know, it's look like we got an army back here. Why don't everybody just let's introduce everybody right quick before we get our caller on. Who we got here behind us?
My name is Taylor E.
Taylor E. All right. Who else we got? Okay, Queen Z.
I'm Queen
Taylor
Zenobia.
E, Queen Z, and who we got on this end?
You You got Chef Lee, Bruce Lee, Jet Lee, Jackie Chan Lee. That's me.
All right, all right. Remind me of Last Dragon.
Yes.
Almost, yeah, with the rhyming. I think we got a caller before we get back
Go
into
ahead,
it.
caller.
Let's
Go
see
ahead,
what
caller.
let's caller speak. Let's see what we
That's
got
what I
going on.
Yes, sir. My name is Ray. I'm a 74-year-old Vietnam vet, and that's why I went to go fight for this country. So brilliant young women, that young lady that just rap. I don't like rap, okay? But she rapped so well, so intelligently, and talked about her people and everybody else. She joined everybody together, and that's how it's supposed to be. None of these A's and B's, and she's a super young lady.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Ray. I'm gonna let her know because I got her earpiece on
yeah,
right
I know
now.
you don't. I hear
Jesus,
it.
okay.
Hey,
That's
thank
what's up.
you. I sure appreciate that.
Yeah.
I've heard that
You
before.
heard that?
People who don't
Yes.
listen to
He
rap.
said he don't even like
Yeah,
rap.
but he liked my rap and he liked the Noble's rap, so I appreciate that.
He don't even like rap, but he like the content. That's because we coming with high frequency, high
the Show Some
vibrational,
Love show.
uplifting. This show some love. We all about love. Love will overcome all. Now I'm gonna give some of our other people on the platform a little time to speak because I did invite my man Chef Lee out. You know, we was talking about magic spells and the music, and I think that's important that we let our young people, you know, get an opportunity to speak on their thoughts on all of this because it's very important. And we want to thank also Noble for dropping that rhyme so eloquently.
Thank you.
Yes, yes indeed. Chef Lee.
Yes. So, hey everybody. Nothing but love over here. But what I've been learning over the years that our music, it has language. Even back in the days where we were in bondage, they were using it to give us signals to actually implement or do something with it. So therefore, I realized that certain sounds have certain energies, certain frequencies. So we are electricity. So we can tap into that and realize that it has an effect on us. If you hear a loud screeching sound, do you feel satisfied when it busts your eardrums out, or are you content? So I believe that music that is being played has a cause and effect. There's a cause and effect. So what you're hearing, it can be translated into chants. Therefore, whatever you are chanting is now being repeated in your mind that you subconsciously thinking about it without having any control over it because you have no ability to turn off your ears from even hearing it.
Yes, yes.
So even back in the days, we used to use medical instruments of music and sound to heal people even from constipation. The vibration from a certain cello or a bass guitar can help.
Something about
What?
You can finish. I'm sorry.
But yeah, everything has a connection.
Oh, okay, I get it. Absolutely,
Yeah,
I appreciate
yeah,
that.
yeah. Everything does have a
And the
connection, and
different
I
frequencies
appreciate
and
that.
things. But his connected to the 1 million crystal thing. I think that's what that was.
Oh, the 1 million.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's real. Before we don't forget one thing that's important that we always are promoting. Number one, you know, I'm Brother Medina, also Medina the artist, and one of my key elements that we've been working on at my gallery as well as with the Englewood Enterprise Gallery is this. Voila. The movement of 1 million crystals, right? Because I'm a believer in the power and the healing powers and the healing energies of the natural environment and of the crystals. And this is a reason why I infuse crystals in my own personal artwork so that I may share some of these crystals with other people. But I just wanted to mention this right quick because we got an ongoing campaign where we're actually giving crystals away, you know, as a part of the movement of 1 million crystals, the Million Crystals movement. And the intention is to move 1 million crystals into the Chicagoland area charged with positive energy of peace, love, and unity in the community. Peace, positive energy of peace, love, and unity in the community. Just a reminder, you know, so that we don't forget, we talking about high vibrational things. We talking about natural energy from the environment, also ultrasonic frequencies, you know, and how do we tap into ultrasonic healing versus ultrasonic weapons. I just want to ask a quick question because we're talking about frequencies and all of this other stuff. Are y'all familiar with, I think it's called MK Ultra?
Yes.
Can you tell me about it?
MK Ultra, to my knowledge, would be what many mainstream artists are under, where they're sort of promoting this agenda. It's like what can I say? They're programmed to do certain things. It's very robotic. I would call them. Yeah, I would say, really robotic. You know?
Yeah, programming. So also to elaborate, and you look like you might have wanted to chime in on this, Chef Lee, but MK Ultra is one of many known programs facilitated by the government, if I'm not mistaken, for mind control.
Bringing that up, y'all think this music affected that youth that killed all the other youth the other day in Texas or whatever?
I don't really know what kind of music. I don't know what kind of music he was listening to. But when we look at MK Ultra, we know that not only the government, but there are operators out here in the world that study and see value in disrupting the thought planes of other people. So MK Ultra was a government project where they were dealing with brainwashing, they were dealing with altered mind states and what they could do to brainwash people in altered mind states. Another thing that the government uses is sometimes they'll go wage war somewhere and they'll play rock music all day and all night over their enemies' heads to disorient them so that after many days of listening to blasting music with crazy frequencies and things like that, the people's thought processes are a little discombobulated. So, MK Ultra is just one known program. Then you have all types of ultrasonic frequency weapons that are patented. Patents owned by the government as well as 5G. Patents owned by different corporations. You got 5G. You got microwave frequencies. You got microwave radios. We have so many frequencies that we are being bombarded with, whether knowingly or unknowingly. So we can knowingly plug into brainwashing because we think it sounds good, all right, but it's counterproductive and self-destructive. And then sometimes we are unknowingly plugged into energy fields that we may not even be aware of. But I'm not going to talk all our time off. What do y'all think about it, Chef Lee?
I was doing research study on the 5G and even the Bluetooth waves. And me and my friends did this project where we set a Bluetooth near a plant, and then one plant that was bought the same consecutive simultaneously time, and we let that sit for 6 months. That plant next to that Bluetooth that stayed on and plugged up ended up dying and withering away. Then we went outside and went next to the 5Gs that was around our neighborhood and realized all the trees that was next to them were deceased.
Wow.
And that just shocked the mess out of me that we downloaded this app with the UV waves and we started testing what areas had the highest radiation.
Wow.
And those are the highest radiations of people saying that they have tumors and brain cancer.
So there's actually an app I can download if I'm trying to check UV waves.
Yep.
Oh, that's so cool.
That is
I
amazing.
didn't know that.
That is
Some
Y'all
people got a
call us out there
professional gun,
listening.
but
Y'all
yeah.
call us now. The
Yeah.
number's 312-738-1060. Show some love.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I'm gonna play a quick little video right quick. Let me see. Let me pull up one. Okay, we already had
While
the
we
queen.
waiting, I would say that I feel music is so impactful because we are naturally on a rhythm ourselves. So if our rhythm is infiltrated, that's like if we are in control of our vessel, or are we being controlled by these outside frequencies?
Yes, that is true. I think it's always a battle, because it's like that age-old metaphor of you got somebody sitting on one side, whispering into your ear, and then you got your conscious,
Right.
and when you look at it, the person that's not your conscious, the one that they consider to be the devil, you know what I mean? When you understand the devil is like the deification of evil. If you were to give evil a face and a name and a profile, then that's what we consider the devil to be. But evil is just the opposite of living. Evil is the opposite of life. So we have to be mindful of these things when we tap into these self-destructive properties that we think we enjoy, like the heavy drug use that's promoted, the heavy violence that's promoted, people writing raps about shooting somebody's mama, you know, and all of this other ridiculous
stuff.
Write
raps about solutions, right?
Write raps about solutions, even freestyle flows. Now, Chef Lee, I think you told me you are heavy off into some spoken word as well yourself, my brother, right?
So I do a little something. I'm gonna spit it for y'all.
Okay.
I was walking down the street of 63rd, what is that, in King Drive in Chicago. And it just, like, beriddled me how much our community is separated and not unified with each other. Because we have so much to fight against each other, we're not realizing that we should be focusing on a solution. So I ended up making up this poem while I was walking down the street, and it just came to me. It was like my ancestors speak straight through me. And it says, this is called I Wonder Why. I wonder why, I wonder why, I wonder why. I wonder why we Malcolm X are Martin Luther Kings. The X should not stand for assassinating children's dreams. To let them live a lie to grow up to find out truly what it seems, that they would have to sacrifice their life and die to realize they were kings and queens. And that's that piece. Huh?
Yes. That's it. Yeah. All right, now I think it might be one person. I don't know if we done really heard from them back there yet. Taylor E. You back there? You wanna drop? You wanna share a little something? You good? You wanna?
I agree with all that.
Okay.
You got some creativity shit? What you want to do?
Yeah.
What you got something to say about the frequency of music or anything?
They've been talking about the frequency for a long time. I noticed that when it started to change myself, when the music was just different from, I guess, when I was about 6, I'm 26, so 20 years ago.
Yeah, the music has completely changed. I would agree. Now, look, earlier I just want to state, not all rock and roll is bad. Now, I like some good rock, okay? Everybody listening. There is some good music of each genre, even the gangster rap.
And even rock came from the blues, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So we gotta, we gonna keep it real. Music ain't the problem, but as everything, these are tools, and we have to recognize how to use the tools for good as opposed to,
what kind of music y'all think that
serial
killer was listening to, though? I mean, the teenage serial killer. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry I brought it up. But you know me, always. Let's just guesstimate. Any guesses? No.
I ain't got no guesses.
I'm gonna tell y'all what I think he was listening to. He was listening to like some Marilyn Manson, like crossed up with some Elvis Presley, because he couldn't let the dead go, and then he had that with some Dolly Parton. I bet. Now look, the Dolly Parton, I love her. Now she all about love and stuff. But some of them videos and pictures I saw. That's why I said that.
Now, okay. Chef Lee, before we get out of here, I know you being an artist, culinary is an art, and it's part of what we like to do on the Show Some Love show. Aside from address things going on in the community, we like to highlight our artists and what they're doing and what it is that moves them and motivates them. And I think I might have been asking you, since everything has a frequency and a vibration, can you chime in on positive frequencies and vibrations that we need to be dealing with our food and what we are feeding our bodies with, just like what we feed our minds with?
Yes, like you specify in with the crystals, that is still from the earth, whether you believe it or not. So if I have hematite on me, that is part of what they call a magnet, and it has energy to attract one stone to another. So you mean to tell me the frequencies of that magnet is strong enough to pull another substance together that comes from the same ground, dirt, and soil that fertilize it? So is it the hematite, which is almost 75% of the earth, besides the nickel part of it, is mostly magnet? This is where your gravity comes from. The same thing is going with your food. If it is planted in the soil with hematite around it, it might be attracting more nutrients and vitamins and energy to it, circulating through it. It has to be a force of energy to move it, first of all. So therefore, if you are having freckles of hematite in your soil while you're planting, you can be attracting what is necessary for that, even to have iron inside of your fruits and vegetables. So we going to ignore this and the periodic table just don't exist, that it's in your food? So
Yes.
having that
Crystals
alkaline
do, like,
diet.
neutralize your water. You can put the crystals actually in your water and stuff, and do the similar effect that Chef
And it
Lee was talking
purifies.
about. Exactly.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So remember this, even if they say ashes to ashes, dust to dust, where does your ancestors go if they buried in the ground and you're growing fruits and vegetables right upon the same soil that made it fertile?
Wow.
So that means all the ingredients of what they have consumed in their life is now planted in the ground just for our soil to be fertile enough to grow another plant. And then we wonder where all the thoughts come from that give us solutions and ideas and creativity that we have been making all these years.
Yes. Yes. I like that. I like that.
Electrolytes to the max. You know?
Indeed. Well, they're gonna be running us up out of here in a minute. You know, this has been a hot topic that we've been dealing with for the last 2 weeks. I want to appreciate the crew for coming through. Do y'all crew got a name, or it's a? I know y'all.
This is called Elevation.
Elevation. Yeah, the
Team
Elevation Network. You know, maybe they'll make me an honorary member or something like that.
Yes.
But it's good to be here. I really appreciate that the young people came out and gave their perspective on what it is that we are dealing with. Everybody is operating from a point of wisdom, and I'm very much looking forward to what else that y'all have to produce and share with the community and with the world, because I know y'all gonna do great things, and this is the type of thing. This is the type of thing that we like to promote on the Show Some Love show. One more time, we are at Englewood Enterprise Gallery, and you can catch us at our new address at 35th and Racine, located in the Bridgeport Arts Center, also known as Bridgeport Artist Lofts. 35th and Racine, 1200 West 35th Street. Also, before we get out of here, if they don't cut me off right quick, I'm going to show a quick picture of what y'all missed if y'all didn't make it out to our little free crystal paint party last Friday. So y'all can catch us
Third Friday.
Third Fridays. Y'all didn't see the picture yet. Y'all can catch us third Fridays over at 35th and Racine. Reach out to us, DM me, Medina the Artist on IG, Englewood Enterprise Gallery on IG, EnglewoodEnterpriseGallery.com. And I want to thank all our guests one more time. Any parting words before they run us up out of here?
We was gonna talk about fresh fruit stands, hoping they put those in the city, talking about nutrients and stuff. Like
Fresh fruit stands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, they do the
No
few
more
farmer
deserted
markets,
areas,
but
man.
Yeah, that
Fast
sounds
food,
like
fruit,
something we
and
need to work
vegetables.
on. That sounds like something, because we say we want them to put them in the area, but who is this they? I think we are the ones that we've been waiting for. Y'all need to sleep on that. Holla at me next week. Fresh fruit stands, we bringing them back.